Spreading resources across 5-week marches. Well, we have to just stop because you're basically feeding the enemy with merits. And boy, oh boy, nobody like this type of players. That is basically... I even remember people stop the whole alliance to perform any kind of PvP to not feed the enemy with merits. One strong march dominates, 5-week one just decorate the battlefield. And I totally agree with that. This is just part from one conversation I have with one of the players who is following my channel. By the way, if you want to speak about something with me, you're going to find the link for my Discord in the description below. If you want to join in our small Burgi cave, I don't know why I come with the name cave for my Discord. Maybe I have to think about something else, but you know, it was not a creative day back in the days. Anyway, we're talking about focus in one march and after a focus on the other. Now, what do I mean by that? Invest everything into one core first. Now, if you're in the season 1, obviously you're going to be presented with decent amount of heroes. You're going to see that even I, as a content creator, that I'm looking to you know, check it out over all of the marches. Some of the heroes I didn't even get because it's not that cheap to have all of the heroes. And obviously for the cavalry I have people to speak, for the marksmen I have people to speak, and that's why I put them aside. So if you're in the season 1, I'm going to give you step by step for the mages, but the idea is applying to every march. I'm going to even say for the marksmen, just to get the idea. Now in the season 1, if you're a free-to-play player, your legion is Waldyr Velyn. Period. Waldyr Velyn. Waldyr as a commander. Why is that? Because Waldyr, maybe here's the thing some people don't understand. Waldyr is absolutely beautiful hero. He is not having diffused damage. If you check it out, Velyn, if Velyn hit 3 targets, he's going to get diffused damage and basically do the same amount of damage like Waldyr. Because Waldyr is doing 700, but there is nothing diffused there. No diffusions. And also, when you have Waldyr Awakened, he's going to apply with his spell, because he's going to fire up before the Velyn. He's going to apply Hair Frost, and this is, you know, reducing of the march speed. But Velyn benefit by a lot Awakened, and you're going to apply extra 400 damage. Other way around is just by Velyn applying that by normal attacks. When in battle, Legion has 20% chance to inflict magic defense break and Hair Frost for 3 seconds. You know, 20%, this means 60% from the time the target is going to actually have this thing, but Waldyr is also hitting multiple legions. Now, I'm not going to say what is the benefits from Waldyr and Velyn. This is not the point of this video. The point of this video is focusing over one march. And what this is supposed to mean? For the mages, it's going to be easy because Waldyr is actually an epic hero. So you're going to collect from the daily chest that you receive by doing 7 missions. You're going to receive epic shards for the Waldyr, epic tokens. Epic tokens. And it's way more easy to actually start up this hero just because he's again requesting epic one. Now, if you want to go with 2 legendary, you have to spread your universal medals. You have to spread your medals. Waldyr and Velyn is going to help your epic resources go in one hero, your legendary resources go on the other hero. Like this, you're going to get very strong, way more strong from a person who is going with 2 legendary heroes, just because you're going to get the value from the epic resources you're receiving in form of tokens and of course legendary epic medals. So this is the first legion. Now imagine if you're with Waldyr and Velyn and you're entering in the season 2. Obviously you're going to get presented with Bertrand and Tohar there. Strongly suggest continue building Waldyr and continue building Velyn. Now, for the people who is asking, yo Burgas, but you know, Velyn at one point is going to get maxed, but he can be getting from the gold keys. Guys, I want to say one thing. Nico is maybe the most close hero I have to be awakened. This is after 2 years. After 2 years, my Nico is 5455. That means how many I'm actually needing? I'm needing like 60 tokens, 60 Nico tokens to awake him after 2 years. And this is the lucky one, because I have some other heroes that are far away, like Bakshi. Who else is from the, for example, Garwood. Garwood is extremely bad. Who else is with gold tokens? They actually awake her by spending. But yeah, if you think I'm not going to put any effort in the Velyn just because it's from the gold keys, better put effort and get the benefits like year and half, close to 2 years before, you know, get benefits from this hero. So this is the thing, focusing awake one march. From there, start up this march. But starting up can be doing in same time when you awake your second march. The point is, having awakened march is going to give you the best benefits on the battlefield. It's not like, here we're not talking about go with the single troop, because this, I think this, after close to 2 years, the majority of the players actually understand that. They're like, yeah, we know we have to go with single troop, even mid spender. This is something that I think is something that you have to do. But even if you go with one troops, there is a rules there. There is a rules that you have to follow. And for me personally, just awakening Legion after Legion is the best way and the best value. Now, obviously, the season 2 may come. This is just for the mages, but it's absolutely the same for the cavalry, for infantry, for marksmen, and etc. Now, for the marksmen, since Kinara is from the wiki spin, you're basically left with Nico. Now, Nico and Guanwin can actually do some good magic. Just pointing that. Nico and Guanwin can also do this amount of damage. This lady here is doing also good amount of damage. Not gonna lie, I mean, just combine these two heroes. Both of them are having the precision tower tree, Guanwei and Nico. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, at the beginning, you're going to have like 2 legendary heroes. Only the cavalry is having the 2 legendary heroes that can be from the gold keys. I'm talking about Bakshi and Emrys. These 2 bad boys, you can get it from the gold keys. Rest, one hero is somehow paywall. Even though I cannot actually say paywall, because from the wiki spin you have to just save gems, and if you're free to play, you have a chance to get it. The other heroes, you can win them by strongest word, even though that there the percentage is like 0.01. But still, if you have Wheel of Destiny, just save gems and try to get the hero that's in the strongest word. I mean, there's a ways you can get some heroes, but you know, some heroes are very hard to be get it. But anyway, you're in the season 1, you just finish, and you're at the middle of the season. Now you're in the season 2. You finish your Velyn, you invest everything you have. You can be low spender, mid spender, it didn't actually matter. Now from there, what is the way? After you awake your first legion, look what is coming and what you can invest. Now obviously, Bertrand is from the wiki spin, Tohar is from the strongest sword. In situation like this, you have to think about, okay, the next since you know right now they put all of the heroes together, but for me personally, I have to wait hero by hero. I mean, before 2 seasons, 3 seasons was presented, there was generation 3 mages, and after this you have to wait so much. So in a situation like this, you can decide maybe you should go with Mu. Thea is a good legion, is going to outperform Bertrand Tohar, in my opinion. If Mu and Thea is awakened, you're going to get some sort of ability from Thea, and you're going to Thea Shield awakened, and you're going to get some extra healing from the Mu, which is going to help your 2 legions to survive longer on the battlefield. So, you know, I think this may be the next good pick, and etc. But till you actually get the best value from your hero, even though that there is a minimum value thing, for example, Thea for me, the minimum value is like 515, just because this one is a very good, but this is for Celestial build. I have to mention that this is for mages. and etc. But the whole point is just awake one legion, and after this awake a second legion. Now if you're a well spender, and for example you're still working on your first legion, and there's a working spin for a hero that you want to use as a second in your second legion, yeah, you can go and spend something there. But at the end of the day, just making the heroes awakened with also strong pets and artifacts is just going to help you get more merits and perform way better on the battlefield, and you're going to have the good feeling from the PvP. Because if you go out with 4 or 5 crappy legions, you just need to get catched or hit a couple times from some AoE mages and you're out. You're basically out. And when these 5 legion go home, destroyed, your hospital is full. You're not going to have troops to fight. So, you know, I see this mistake over and over. Back in the days, I was advocated, you know, just go with 4 legions because you're going to get more merits from the time you're spending there. But at the same time, when you get your hospital full, you're completely useless for your alliance. Better have couple strong marches from like 5 crappy marches. So yeah, this will be for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit one like, share your comments in the comments below, subscribe if you're new here, become a member if you want to support my work. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.